Hi Internet, I'm John Appleseed. Welcome to my YouTube channel where we do a daily crossword puzzle. And today we have the Sunday New York Times puzzle posted on December 7th, 2025. The constructor is Kate Jensen. Will Shorts is the editor. I'm John Appleseed, your host here on the channel. And the title of today's puzzle is Original Thinkers. And that will have something to do with a theme. Usually the Sunday puzzles offer some kind of a theme. So let's see what we've got here. One across, fancy do's. Do's could be parties or it could be hairdos. One down, solos at a party, say. Red solo cups. I was thinking stag, but it doesn't fit grammatically, but red solo cups might work. Two down, the duck in Peter and the Wolf. That's probably the instrument that played the part of the duck. Don't know what it is. Three down. Future birthplace of Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk was from Iowa. I'm a little bit of a Trekkie. Four down, pest whose name is a homophone for what you might do when you see it. Pest. Nope. Five down, gone to great lengths. Fancy do's. Coif is a word for a fancy hairdo, a coiffeur. So let's try coifs for that. Bit of letter-shaped hardware. Could be a U-bolt. I've seen that in crossword puzzles before. 23 across. This one is an italic font. So this will be part of our theme today, and it was Original Thinkers. Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison, both famous for their work in the field of electricity. So maybe this is a power couple. Oboe could be the instrument for the duck in Peter and the Wolf. Let's try power couple. That is a phrase about two original thinkers who both dealt with electrical power. A flea is a pest for four down, and you might flee, the homophone, when you see a flea. Gone to great lengths. Strove or striven. Victorian era prescription for melancholy, probably the sea air. Rock climber's handhold could be a crag for 24 down. 32 across, dictionary tag. Abbreviation. Gone to great lengths. I like striven or strived maybe, but variant VAR could be a tag on in a dictionary definition. And I think let's just finish off this little section here. Samuel Morse, the inventor of Morse code. Is this a code something? No, I'm not sure. Okay, let's move over here then. Six across, count me out. Don't know. Six down, blank Jima. Could be Iwo Jima, the island in the Pacific. Seven down, one of the Fab Four. The Beatles were the Fab Four, so John, Paul, Ringo, and George. I think Paul fits there. Eight down, jelly you wouldn't pair with peanut butter. Kind of jelly. I was going to say apple, but you might put apple jelly on a peanut butter sandwich, wouldn't you? Don't know why not. Nine down, Arabic greeting and farewell. The word for peace in Arabic can be used as a greeting and a farewell. Salam. Canned fuel used in making fondue. That's a sterno. Sterno can under the fondue pot. Count me out. I pass. Attended, was at. You were at an event. You attended it. Aspic is a jelly that wouldn't go on a peanut butter sandwich. And 28 across, they'll make it up to you. They will make up a story if they're lying. Liars will make up a story to you. 34 across, summer campers, conveyance, could be a canoe. And 43 across, Sir Edmund Hillary, who climbed Mount Everest. So this might begin with mountain man or something. I don't know. What's 11 across? Cantankerous captain of fiction. I guess Captain Ahab could be counted as cantankerous. 11 down, broadcast to squad cars. Could be an all-points bulletin, APB. Slim margin of victory. He won by a hair. Could be one chain times one furlong. I'm going to guess this is acre. It sounds like a measurement of land. Could be acre there, a plot of land. Amelia Blank, Maid of Children's Literature. That's Amelia Bedelia. Never read any of those books, but I remember the title. So John James Audubon, who wrote about birds, he was a naturalist. A bird brain. Yeah. 15 across, lab provisions. Is lab a Labrador dog here? So these dog treats? I don't know. 15 down. It's April. It's it showers bring flowers. Though April showers may come your way, they bring the flowers that bloom in May. So I think April showers. We do have abbreviation in the clue to give us a hint that we're going to abbreviate April there. I think Alpo. So I think this is provisions for your Labrador, your dog, which might be a brand of dog food, or Alpo. 22 across, a bear of very little brain. That's Winnie the Pooh. Grant a mortgage, say, would be to loan to someone where one's trip begins. I'm not sure. Golly, that's cool. Oh, nice. Fits nicely. Pittsburgh to Buffalo direction. Okay, it's not going to be an I there. Pittsburgh to Buffalo, would that be north-northeast? I'm not sure, but maybe this is oh neat instead of oh nice. Point A, trips go from point A to point B, so I think that's what that is. And Emmy-winning actor Ray Blank is Ray Liotta. 30 across is, move back up there, somehow I jumped out of the grid. Stumble or lurch would be to reel, and Russian crepes are blini. Or blintzes? No. Does it have two I's in the plural? Sir Edmund Hillary is a mountain. Is he a mountain goat? Because he's the greatest of all time for climbing Mount Everest, maybe? Come out on top might be prevail. I'm trying to put two I's at the end of blini. Then 55 across, cheeky, impish or impudent or something like that. Maybe. 29 down, starter, perhaps. Starter for a meal could be a soup. Firmly establishes. Enrolls? Pied à blanc for 44 down. Pied à terre is like a city in the apartment you might keep. Michigan in Chicago. I think there's a Michigan Avenue in Chicago. And 54 across, deposit that might gather interest. That's probably a deposit of ore in a mine. So if you firmly establish something, do you enroll it? I wouldn't really consider those synonyms, although I might allow it. Sir Isaac Newton. No. Shoe covering for 65 across. What covers a shoe? Don't know. Move back over here. We've got Samuel Morse. It's got to begin with code, doesn't it? But then what's the ending? 46 across, lake that's home to the world's largest freshwater island. Might be one of the Great Lakes. Lake Huron is one that fits there. 50 across, suffix with hypo, or hipped. H-Y-P-N. Sorry, my eyes didn't quite catch that in there. H-Y-P-N. Hypno what? 59 across, Sir Isaac Newton. No, and 63 across, Harper Valley Blank, the 1968 hit. There was a song about the Harper Valley PTA, which I don't remember very well. I think Loretta Lynn sang it. Bite Down Hard for 38 down is Chomp, I believe. 39 down, musical tool, popularized by T-Pain. T-Pain is a rapper, I know, from a connections puzzle. Nope, 40 down, personification of England, Scotland, and Wales. I want to say this is John Bull. Kind of the British equivalent of Uncle Sam is John Bull. And I don't think he's just England, because I've seen pictures of him. His waistcoat has the Union Jack on it, so it would be all three of those countries. 41 down, sets of points in math. I don't know. And John Bull doesn't fit here if these... It doesn't fit either way, even if those are wrong. All right, Samuel Morse, code... No. 50 cross, suffix with hip. Hippen. I like an O after the N. hypnotism, no. Sir Isaac Newton. 68 across, like beds on lazy Saturdays. They are comfortable. They are inviting. Musical tool. Is there a doctor who is a personification of England, Scotland, and Wales? Sets of points in math. Don't know that. 60 down, oldest independent state in the Arab world. Oman has 4 letters. Maybe that might fit there. 51 down, and giving blank. Up the chimney he rose, and giving a wink. No, a nod. Giving a nod up the chimney he rose from the night before Christmas. What? St. Nick laying a finger alongside his nose and giving a nod. Up the chimney he rose. I think that's the line there. Is felt strongly. No, 42 down, Jeepers Creepers. Where'd you get those peepers? Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those eyes? Don't know what the answer is, though. 47 across. Bit of cacao. I think it is a nib. I've seen cocoa nibs or cacao nibs. There's little snacks you can buy. Word after you or wanna. You bet. Wanna bet. Yep. Trees commonly confused with birches. All right, let's try alders. I wouldn't know what either of them look like in the wild, but maybe they are commonly confused. Jeepers Creepers. Is felt strongly. Run, you know. TV Tavern, visited by Mayor Quimby. That's probably from The Simpsons. Moe's was a tavern on that show. Your bed might be unmade on a lazy Saturday. Nullify for 52 down. Nope. Repeal, maybe, like a law. Blank cat. Snowcat is a kind of snowmobile, but that's too many letters. 61 down. Alter as a t-shirt for a Fish concert. Is Fish at one of those tie-dye type bands? Could be. Maybe you would tie-dye a t-shirt for that, like you would for the for the Grateful Dead. Firmly establishes. Sir Isaac Newton. Shoe covering. And cuts back for 70 across. I think that's pairs. You pair back something. Let's try, no, nullify, repeal doesn't fit if pairs is right. Scaredy cat for blank cat. So this probably ends in detector. Isaac Newton. See the detector of gravity because of the apple that supposedly fell on his head. I like an E there for repeal. So something like redact could be to nullify something, to edit it out of existence. Detector with an O or maybe an E. And roots for firmly establishes. Yeah, okay, that works. And then shoe covering is a gaiter. If you think of, well, I'm thinking of spats. I was going to say, think of Scrooge McDuck wearing those, but those are spats, the fancy ones. But think of a World War I soldier often had gaiters on it covering his boots and lower legs. So what is nullify? No, like the Red Sea after a visit from Moses. Moses parted the Red Sea, according to the Bible. So let's put that in for 74 across. Want from. Ask of. That's all I ask of you. That's all I want from you. Yep. Like some nails found in a drugstore. Press-on nails are a thing you might buy at a drugstore. Gregor Mendel. Okay, he did things with seeds, didn't he? cross-pollinating seeds for genetic research purposes. So maybe he's a seedy something. Negate for nullify. Yes, change that to an N. There isn't an alden tree. Maybe aspens. Oh yeah, birch bark is curly, isn't it? And aspen also has that curly bark. Okay, so maybe birches and aspens are correct in that way. Yeah, I would be able to pick out an aspen. This could be yipes for Jeepers Creepers. Then if we have a D here for detector, something detector, and runs deep for feels strongly. So Samuel Morse is a co-D guy. Okay, let's take out. Okay, I like guy as an ending. If it were just code guy, but that's not really a phrase either, is it? Okay. What is the set of points in a math? Sets of points. Britannia might also appear in like an editorial cartoon of Britain from the 18th century or something. The lady straddling the waves or whatever. Britannia. Okay, so Morse code, invented Morse code for the telegraph cables. He's a cable guy. Cable guy is a common phrase. Are these lots? Hypno. Musical tool. Is that auto tuner? Maybe. Motion detector. Newton came up with the 3 laws of motion. Object in motion, stay at motion. Objects at rest tend to stay at rest. Loci, I think, for set of points, and hypnotic is the suffix that goes with. Hippen. Okay, so that section is done. That was hard. Kofi Blank, former Secretary General of the United States, is the Ghanaian diplomat Kofi Annan. 79 across. Oui is to non as ya is to nine. Yes and no in French and German, respectively. Hint could be a trace of something. Drone or queen could be an ant. Yeah, that works. And she sheds. Counterpart. She shed. A man cave? I've heard of a man cave. I haven't heard of a she shed. I guess that is the counterpart of a man cave. Okay, that works. Gives a thumbs up. Okays. All right, let's move over to this section. And I kind of left this alone. I wanted to finish this. 37 down. Crazy Horse and fellow tribespeople, I think, are the Oglala Sioux. Oglalas. Let's try that. Cheeky. Maybe this is Bleenies with an S for Russian crepes. Cheeky could be sassy. Yeah, that works. Cattle calls. Ooh, singing his cattle call. Like that Eddie Arnold song. So cattle low. That's how they call. They make a lowing sound. The French fashion initials for 58 down is Yves Saint Laurent, YSL. It's often rapped, but never spoken. A gavel is rapped. Things that are rapped, like a door knocker or something, but yeah, a judge might rap a gavel, or somebody presiding over some kind of session following Robert's Rules of Parliamentary Procedure. 56 down, like many Russian housing blocks. Soviet era, maybe. Think of housing blocks as associated with the Soviet era in Russia. Made more enticing, sweetened the deal, for example. Outfit that may have a hood. Would a onesie have a hood, maybe? 76 across. Rain on your wedding day. Like rain on your wedding day. So ironic does not fit. CD operator I like for Gregor Mendel. Except that doesn't fit. What was the original minds was the title of the puzzle. I think these are all scientists or naturalists, people from that genre of people So maybe these are all scientific minds. And we're coming up with puns on their work and name. Rain on your wedding day. Idealist. A romantic. Could be an idealist. Isn't it romantic merely to be young on such a night as this? I think nerd out and geek out could be synonyms. 67 down, actress Rollins is Gina, I believe. Rain on your wedding day could be an omen, an ill omen for the marriage. You might interpret it that way. Seedy character for Gregor Mendel. Yep. An R there. Uncouth could be gross or something like that. ... might be etc. Let's try crass for uncouth. Sister to Lex Luthor. Was there a Lena Luthor? The Superman comics seem to have a lot of double L names. We had Lois Lane and Lana somebody, Lana Lang, and Lex Luthor. Maybe there was a Lena Lang. Hint, it might be a clue. Remedies are cures. Orville and Wilbur Wright, Airheads, inventors of the airplane there, powered flight. 92 down, something for canines, to sink their canines into a chew toy. A dog might sink his canine teeth into a chew toy. Basic tenet of improv is yes and. The one thing I know about improv, Catherine of Best in Show and A Mighty Wind. Catherine O'Hara was in that, also in Schitt's Creek. A urinal, according to Duchamp, could be art, I guess. And farm share program is community sourced agriculture, or CSA. I've seen that in other puzzles as well. With love, musically. Amoroso might mean with love. Amorous in Italian. Who's our scientist or big brain here for 93 across? Henry Ford, okay. Not necessarily a scientist, but an innovator in terms of automotive technology. Henry Ford. I don't know what it is. 100 across, give a darn. Again, give a darn again. Darn, this might be darning a sock here. To remend would be to darn the sock again. That sounds awful. Nope. 115 across, Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung. Psychologists. Don't know. Genesis for 120 across. Genesis is the beginning of something. Nope. 124 across. Vous blank ici. French map phrase. The way to say you are here in French would be vous êtes ici. I think that works. Toil. 493 down. Don't know. Wish one could take back. To regret. Regret. I've had a few. But then again, too few to mention. I wonder if this is driving force for Henry Ford. Yeah, something to do with driving. No, that doesn't work, does it? 85 down, blank chart. Oh, I'm spelling it wrong. Org chart for 85 down. We need an I here and an N here to make driving force for our Henry Ford clue. Remend, to mend again. This looks like Eminem. Yeah, self-proclaimed rap god might be Eminem. 1-3 across. That sounds awful. Ugh, perhaps. Toil could be weary work or drudgery, drudge. Arrival announcement. I'm here. So we put in ugh for 104 across. Both Freud and Jung interpreted dreams. Dream guys, maybe. Morning times would be AMs and up one. Where we go? Genesis is the germ. The germ of an idea would be the genesis of an idea. What is this? Like many couples at theaters on dates. Noble title could be Earl. Let's put in dream team for Freud and Jung. Not just theoretical, real. It runs hot. Lava runs hot. Encountered, met. Roof overhang is an eave, and slat for part of a wooden bench. Okay, we're almost done. I think we've got one more themed answer to go. Food and water. Needs. Those are needs. 108 across. Bit of letter-shaped hardware. Okay, we had U-bolt already in the puzzle. This is probably going to be a T or something. McFlurry flavor is Oreo. That's a nice way to clue Oreo. Blank Lannister, Game of Thrones Queen. That's Cece or Cersei. I don't know. Never saw the show, but I just heard a lot about it. 97 down. Like professional publications, they are edited. Trap is a snare. Would fit for trap in 5 letters. Drab color for una casa. Una casa, that word for house in Spanish, so this is probably a Spanish color. Gris is gray, maybe. Bit of letter-shaped hardware. So an O-ring could fit there. I think this is Cersei. I'm going to guess that's right. Galileo Galilei. Okay, he was an astronomer, so star fits as the beginning. Weirdly spooky is eerie for 122 across. In other words, is id est for 126 across. So gris looks right. Kind of nurse or suit. Can you have a wet? You can have a wet nurse or a wet suit. Indian flatbread is roti. Yeah, I don't know the difference between roti and naan, but I think that's right. College located in East Cedar Rapids. That's a COE. I've seen that in other puzzles. Unexpected endings are twists. This movie has a twist in it. 123 across. Church staple. No. Trips around the sun are years. Year on Earth is how long it takes the Earth to go around the sun. Concerning is in re. You might see that on a business memo. Sonic the Hedgehog Company is Sega. Fyodor 1 for 1. Maybe he was a Tsar. Church staple could be an organ. Taxpayer IDs are SSNs or Social Security numbers. And Galileo Galilei was a star. Witness as an astronomer, so S will finish the puzzle. There we go. That was a good one. So, Original Minds, or I think it was Original Minds. But anyway, we had, I think these are people who invented or popularized or significantly advanced whatever it is we're talking about. So power couple, both Nikola and Tesla advanced electrical power. John James Audubon, I guess birds were already invented, but he significantly contributed to our knowledge of birds. Edmund Hillary conquered Mount Everest, so he's the mountain goat. I think goat meaning greatest of all time there. Samuel Morse worked on telegraph cables, so he's the cable guy. Newton gave us the laws of motion. He was the motion detector. Who else do we have here? We had Henry Ford as a driving force. We had Gregor Mendel and his work on crossbreeding hybrid seeds as a seedy character. Wilbur and Orville Wright as airheads. Freud and Jung for Dream Team, and Galileo as a star witness. All right, that was a good one. We had some other difficult clues. Jelly that wouldn't go on a PB&J would be aspic. Why can't I get back in the puzzle? There we go. Aspic for that. What else gave me trouble? Oh, yeah, negate. I put in alders here instead of aspens. Not really knowing much about trees. I guess birch, the one thing I know about birch is that it has that curly bark you can use to start a fire. I remember that from the Boy Scouts. And I did grow up in Utah where we had lots of quaking aspens there. So I'm familiar with those in there. Thin, papery bark. But if I'd put in aspens originally, I probably would have gotten negate a lot quicker. Amoroso. Gris, not a color a lot of us learned in a first year Spanish class, or that we would remember. I think azul and rojo probably more common, maybe verde, but gris doesn't show up, is not used that often, so I'm a little surprised to see it. It's just a Spanish language clue, but didn't give us too much trouble. All right, thanks so much for joining me. Please come back for more puzzles and games, and I will see you next time.